Riccardo raced for Red Bull from 2014 until the end of 2018 before departing for Renault and then McLaren. Now in 2023, Riccardo returns to the Milton Keynes-based outfit as their third driver. But what will the future hold for the fan favourite Aussie? And what are the specifics of his role at Red Bull? Stay tuned to find out. Daniel Ricciardo reportedly left the team after the 2018 season because he did not want to be a second driver. He spent 2 years at Renault where he performed well, but it was a midfield car, and he decided to go for a better option. Then he went to McLaren where he struggled to adapt to the car and was thoroughly outclassed by Lando Norris in both his seasons with the team. For 2023, the British team opted to move for Oscar Piastri instead. So now he's back to Red Bull. However, what his role as the third driver actually entails is rather vague. Both Helmut Marko and Christian Horner have emphasised his marketability, and Marko proclaimed him one of the best for show runs, so it appears that this will be the area where he will be utilised the most. He is one of the most popular and well-loved drivers on the grid. Red Bull Jr. Liam Lawson will also be the reserve driver for Red Bull in 2023, which creates uncertainty regarding their respective roles. Speculations are rampant among fans that in the event of Sergio Perez's performance decline, the team might elevate Ricciardo to take his place. However, Horner has downplayed this possibility, asserting that the only scenario in which Ricciardo would get behind the wheel would be if Perez or Max Verstappen could not compete in a race for any reason. Horner said, "We certainly have no plans to utilise him other than in that third driver role and to combine with the commercial activities that he will be performing." Ricciardo's absence from the grid was not a planned one. He was slated to continue competing for McLaren this season, having inked a 3-year contract with the team. However, his struggles to attain performance and results persisted in his second season, leading to the premature end of his deal. Usually such a jovial character in the paddock, the strain it was putting on him was obvious to see. Reflecting on that, Horner said of the 33-year-old, "I think Daniel had fallen out of love a little bit with Formula One. He'd had a couple of really tough seasons. For him to play a supporting role to race drivers as our third driver, both back in the factory and at events, with all the commercial partners we have as one of the most recognisable faces currently in and around F1, for us it made a lot of sense." Hopefully in that process, Daniel will rediscover his passion for Formula One. We were surprised to see Daniel be out on the open market. For us, Ricciardo having grown up with Red Bull, having nurtured him since being a junior, it made sense for us to bring him back into the fold, a driver with so much experience and such a high profile. You're enjoying this video, right? You definitely don't want to miss out on other amazing videos. So all you have to do is hit the subscription button. It's that easy. Thanks for doing that. Let's move on. What are the chances of Ricciardo replacing Perez? Sergio Perez has dismissed claims that Daniel Ricciardo's return to Red Bull Racing has jeopardized his own future at the team. The Mexican acknowledged that the team could pick any driver they wanted to replace him. Perez said, "When you're at Red Bull Racing, you've got to perform at your best. It doesn't matter if Daniel is here or not. Red Bull can pick pretty much any driver they want on the grid." Despite a recent 2-year contract extension until the end of the 2024 season, Sergio Perez's relationship with Max Verstappen has been strained following the Dutchman's refusal to give up position during the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. The incident has led to speculation that Perez may not continue to support his teammate and that Red Bull may opt to bring in another driver who can support Max Verstappen. Both the Mexican and Red Bull have denied that Ricciardo's return will affect Perez's position in the team. Perez has been a valuable addition to the Red Bull Racing team since joining in 2021. He has consistently shown strong performances, with his third-place finish in the championship last year being a career best. Despite his impressive track record, Ricciardo's arrival has sparked speculation about Perez's future in the team. Daniel Ricciardo is a seasoned veteran of F1 and has a proven track record of success. He won 7 races during his previous stint with Red Bull and will be a strong competitor for the second seat on the team. Sergio Perez hopes to extend his time with Red Bull beyond 2024 and will be a part of the team when Ford joins the sport in 2026. He said, "There is so much time left that I don't consider it. Right now, if you ask me, yes, I want to continue in this sport well beyond 2024, but it is a long time, many years, so I want to wait and see what happens. Although it is very exciting and I would love to be a part of it." Despite the speculation, Perez remains focused on his goals for the upcoming season. He is determined to build on his successful performances from last year and is working hard to maximize the car's potential. Red Bull are one of the most successful teams in F1 and are known for their commitment to winning. The team is determined to have the best drivers on the grid and will make decisions based on their performance. Whether Perez will continue to be part of the team beyond 2024 remains to be seen, but it is clear that he will not be afraid to compete with Ricciardo for the second seat. The upcoming season promises to be exciting for Sergio Perez and Red Bull as they look to take their performances to the next level. Ricciardo has made it clear that he is not considering replacing Perez and is committed to taking time off after 11 consecutive years in Formula One. He highlighted that he really wants the time off and is content in his current role, supporting the team's main drivers. He said, "I think really for me, my mindset is to really try and help the team. I will give everything I can in the simulator and the races I go to. I'll be in the meetings and I have no problem talking to Max and Checo, trying to share any insights and trying to be the best team member I can. That's really where my head is at. I think as well, because I personally do really want the time off. I'm not waiting like, give me that chance. I'm very happy to be where I'm at right now." Daniel Ricciardo expressed surprise at how comfortable he felt upon his return to Red Bull, saying that it feels like I never left. The popular driver had been a regular and a championship contender for Red Bull before moving to Renault in 2019. At the end of the 2022 season, Ricciardo revealed he would be interested in rejoining the grid permanently in 2024, but is now not committing to this. He continued, "I think I'll get my answer on whether I want to return inside. An internal feeling. I'm sure I'll get that before the summer once the season starts, once I've been in the sim and gone to a few races. I think I'll get my answer to what I truly want to do and work towards whatever that is." If Ricciardo wants to return to the F1 grid, which F1 team is he likely to move to? Ricciardo may have done great things at Alpine's predecessor Renault, but the French team are again a side that looks to have their driver future wrapped up for the time being. Pierre Gasly joins this season on a multi-year deal, while Esteban Ocon is set to hang around until the end of 2024. But the only potential upset to that situation is if the previous bad blood between the two Frenchmen resurfaces and makes one of their positions untenable. In that case, Alpine may be tempted to give one of its former drivers another chance. Hamilton has said he is unlikely to hang up his helmet just yet and believes he has it in him to stick around for a few more years yet. And while both he and Toto Wolff have confirmed a new Mercedes contract is on its way, neither have put pen to paper. Before Red Bull snatched him up, Mercedes were interested in acquiring Ricciardo's services as a third driver, which would suggest the brains at Brackley see something in him. Given Zhao Guanyu was the only rookie on the track in 2022, it was hard to gauge just how well he fared in his debut season. He was soundly beaten by Valtteri Bottas. No surprise given the difference in experience, before having his contract extended late in the year. That suggested Alpha were not entirely convinced, but did not see a better option out there. Should the Chinese driver fail to set the world on fire in 2023, then the team may look to go in another direction, and Ricciardo could be a realistic option for them. It is also a move that Ricciardo would be interested in, especially given Audi's future involvement, and with Andreas Seidel already there, Ricciardo will have a familiar face to work with. It'll be interesting to see if Ricciardo can rediscover his love for the sport, and if he can make a comeback to the Formula One grid. It's never an easy ask, but it's not out of the bounds of possibility. He certainly has the talent. He just needs to get back to form. Time will tell if he can do that, and if some team will give him another chance in F1. What's your thought about Ricciardo's role in Red Bull? Let me know in the comments section below. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video.